In a forest of giants, there lived a little sparrow named Suri. She had no grand wings, no towering height, no deep voice. Every day she watched the mighty oak trees, the proud birds, and the animals of strength, and felt the sting of envy. "Why can't I be like them?" she whispered into the wind. But sometimes the smallest hearts carry the greatest stories. Today, this is the story of how a tiny sparrow discovered her true power, not in wings or strength, but in kindness. Suri lived in an old oak grove. The oaks were revered, wide trunks, sprawling branches, and roots deep in the earth. All forest creatures sought shade and protection from them. Every sunrise, Suri tried to flap higher, to touch their leaves, to impress. She saw how other birds perched confidently on the oaks. She saw squirrels climb the trunks, how deer leaned on their shade, how creatures honored the oak's presence. At night, she lay on her twig, feeling small and invisible. She compared her voice to the hooting owl, her wings to the eagle's span, her branch to the oak's canopy. Her heart whispered, "If only I had strength like an oak, or wings like the hawk, I would matter." One morning, a terrible storm came. Wind howled, and lightning rent the sky. Forest creatures scattered in fear. The oaks, though mighty, were battered. Their branches cracked, leaves flew away. Some creatures lost their homes in the chaos. When the storm passed, the clearing was in ruin. Many creatures were injured, many homes destroyed. Suri flew out, with trembling wings. But she had one gift. She could move. She could enter small spaces. She could sing softly without fear. She saw a small rabbit trapped, a baby bird fallen from a branch, others soaked and shivering. But she did not abandon them. She rescued the baby bird, carrying it carefully to a hollow under protected boughs. She guided the rabbit out of a flood trench. She even sang to the injured to calm their hearts. The mighty oaks, sensing the crisis, watched. But they could not descend. They could not reach the hidden corners. Their strength was grand, but limited to their roots and height. Suri's kindness spread like wind. Forest creatures rallied around her, offering leaves, warmth, small tools, patches of shelter. She organized food in little piles, led weaker ones to safe ground. As Suri's influence grew, some in the forest whispered. The proud hawk, the peacock, even some squirrels murmured, "Why does that small sparrow lead now? She has no strength, no grandeur." The mighty oak, standing tall, felt its pride pricked. "How can this little creature do what we could not?" it asked. Suri overheard in silence. She wondered out of fear. Does she overstep? Is she taking what does not belong to her? But she looked at forest creatures gathering around her, trusting her, and she remembered, kindness is not arrogance. She approached the oaks humbly, saying, "Mighty one, your strength anchored this forest. But in crisis, every hand, every voice, no matter how small, must serve." The oak trunk creaked. The forest quieted. Soon, a young fawn was stuck in a hollow log, deeper than Suri's wingspan. The oaks could not reach inside. The hawk tried to swoop and pull, but the fawn was too heavy and panicked. Suri flew in, squeaking softly, coaxing the fawn to calm. She guided it inch by inch, encouraging it to push forward while she guided branches and small sticks. Small creatures also joined, mice, squirrels, amphibians. Together they nudged, lifted, supported. Bit by bit, the fawn freed itself. Silence fell. The fawn ran to safety. The forest exhaled. The oaks bowed their heavy branches. The proud animals looked on. Suri stood at the center, not tallest, not strongest, but she had rallied hearts. In the days that followed, the forest changed. The animals no longer judged by feathers or bark, but by service, by kindness. The mighty oak whispered to Suri, "You have taught me something that I forgot." The hawk nodded, offering a feather in respect. Even the peacock bowed its head to show respect. Suri realized jealousy had blinded her to her own worth. Strength without heart cannot hold a forest together to survive. Greatness lies in lifting others, even when no one watches or cares. She continued her quiet work, singing to lonely creatures, guiding young ones, helping rebuild. Her size never changed, her wings never grew new span, but her heart, that grew wide, deep, rooted in purpose. In life, we often look at those who seem stronger, larger, more powerful, and wish we had their gifts. We forget. Every person already carries a spark of greatness inside. Jealousy tells us we are small. Kindness shows us we are infinite. True beauty is not in what we lack, but in what we choose to give. So remember Suri, the little sparrow who did not have grand wings, but had a grand heart. When you feel small, help someone. When you feel unseen, show kindness. When jealousy whispers lies, let your service speak your truth. Because greatness is not measured by how high you fly. It's measured by how many you lift as you rise. A big heart makes the smallest one the greatest of all.